It probably took me until like, okay, so what, 2019, I'm 27, 28 years old. It probably took me to that point in my life to understand that when people were like, yo, Edwin, like, that was admiration,
More
like
than disrespect, yeah.
yeah, exactly. It always used to bother me a ton because I felt like I was just being like labeled. What I felt like it was people just looking at me and being like, we see the two-dimensional TV character and that's all you are to us. And that's
Right.
it.
Right.
And that always bothered me. Always, always, always.
Mm-hmm.
At a certain point, I was like, people do that because I had a profound impact on them. And then, like,
I'm 28 now and I'm talking to you. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I watched Life with Eric how many years ago?
But that's crazy to me that you would freak out about talking to me because who am I?
That
You know what I mean?
I know
Like,
what you mean, but like, yeah, I don't think you will never be able to think about it the way I do and other people do. I don't think.
now I've always fanboyed over like musicians.
Right.
I could never understand people freaking out about actors because I was one, and I'm like, we're just people. What?
Fair.
But the musicians were always the people that I geeked out about because I can't play anything like that.
Right.
And yeah, like now I'm tame about it, right? But I was I was at a Chromeo concert last night.
I saw that.
I love Chromeo,
Mhm.
and Dave, the front man for Chromeo, well, he's like both of them, but Dave is like 46 years old, and I'm like, if I were to just meet him like tomorrow,
Mhm.
I'd be a little starstruck.
Oh, yeah.
I'd be like, dude, you're the man, right?
Yeah.
Like that's so I get it, I do, but I just don't I don't equate myself to that at all,
Mhm. Yeah.
right? So I don't know, maybe I'm supposed to.
It's funny. The only I'm rarely precious about like lines and dialogue, and I'm always like, oh, okay, you want to change that? I could rewrite it. Something else will come up. But it was very important to me that the sort of the theme of Life with Derek is that blended families are just regular families, right? In the end, Casey and Derek were brother. As much as they were step siblings, they were really treating each other like siblings. There was a line at the last episode. It's like, you're the most annoying brother, and she's like stepbrother, and I'm like, yeah, right. So and I was like, yeah, that's the line. That's what you. And then like you look at the show, and then it's like the mood lighting, and it looks romantic, and I'm like, well, this is why as a writer you need to be on set all the time. And I do not think the director, who I know is a great guy, I don't think he thought that. No one was really thinking that. And I'm just like, no, the idea was supposed to be like, you're my fucking most annoying brother. I hate your fucking guts. And it's like, and it became this romantic moment. So again, listen. For if I could do it all over again, I don't know. We ended up they made a movie out of it, and another movie. Do I want to exploit this disgusting aspect of the show for financial gain? Yes, I do. Because I have kids and they keep eating, so I don't know. So you don't know where the audience's mind's going to go. That was not the intention of the writer, and it was a moral of the story. Once again, same thing with casting. Don't listen to Jeff; he doesn't know what he's talking about. And when you insist on a line being in a show, shut the hell up, because you never know. It could be this really weird.
It also didn't help the way Michael delivered it, I think, too.
It's his fault. I'm blaming him. I'm blaming him. No, you can't. I mean, again, yes, maybe, but and also, it just, again, if someone had said to me, hey, people online are saying this about these kids, I would have been more cautious. I don't know. I don't know. Like,
no one was saying it back then. At least I know I didn't hear of it then. You weren't seeing stuff online the way you do now. So I think it's been like so long since the show ended, obviously the movie and then the other movie. Now people bring it up, but people weren't saying anything about it then.
So because obviously my hair was like very different.
Yeah.
Their original plan was actually, and we ended up filming like, I want to say like maybe 3 scenes or so. They put me in a wig because they wanted it, obviously I still looked like Lizzie, but at the same time they wanted it to be like very recognizably, this is Lizzie. And obviously I, like in the show, I never dyed my hair. I only had just my natural brown hair. And so they put me in a brown wig, and I'm pretty sure it had like bangs and it was long. And anyway, not the most flattering wig in my opinion. But then, to my happy surprise, they ended up saying no. I don't know if it was the network, like I don't know if it was family or if it was just the production team or the higher ups that decide all of the magical final decisions. They basically said, no, we're gonna have to refilm the 3 scenes or whatever that we filmed, and just get your coverage and refilm those because we're not doing the wig anymore. So it was actually my hair, but I feel like why Danny thought that is because I was in fact originally planned to have a wig.
That makes sense. So I think he mixed them up with that, and because he thought you were already doing Degrassi and had short hair, I think is
Right.
where he got the mix up from. But again, it was 14 years ago. So I mean, how much are you going to remember? I don't blame him. But you're technically right. So
yeah, that's why I'm like, hey, it's funny that he actually remembered like there was a wig, just not in the final product.
I just thought it was so funny how all of the kids had a different hairstyle besides Danny. He looked the exact same. There was no difference.
And then we did a reboot, which never got made, a primetime version of Life with Derek with CTV. We wrote scripts for the show. And the first scene that we wrote about was and it took place when Casey and Derek were in their 20s. So it was like maybe 5 or 6 years after the original series ended. And in the first scene, Casey comes back home and she's sleeping in the basement because that's where the guest room is now. And little does she know, Derek has been sneaking in, and he's, after traveling Europe, has moved back home without telling anybody. And so they end up in bed together in the first scene of the show unwittingly. I just wanted to, like, if we're going to make the show, let's just do it head on and hang a lantern on the note, as they say, shine a light on this ick thing that people have, and then just address it and move on. So that's how we did. And the show never got made, but we were going to address those issues. And then we made a reboot with the movie, and we didn't address any of those issues, which
We're all like was the cast, like, did it get to as far as like the cast were all in on the show?
We did a table read. Everyone was in. I think at the time, CTV, which was our broadcaster, it was a Modern Family style show. Like wasn't a mockumentary, but it was a Modern Family tone of a show, I would say. And they just didn't have a place, they said, to put it on the air. I don't know. I don't know how much of an audience it would have had, but it was fun writing those scripts and developing a sort of a more Casey and Derek drinking, it was kind of fun. And maybe it would have betrayed the characters. Maybe it's not something you want to see. Do you want to see, little Marty being promiscuous? I don't know. Do you?
What was it? Did you have an actual finalized title for it or no?
It was Life with Derek again.
Oh, okay. Hey, that's simple.
I know.
I like it.
If anyone wants to make it, by the time we'll make it, it looks like Casey and Derek are grandparents.
When you found out about this coming up and that there would be no Lizzie, initial thoughts?
I mean, initial thoughts is kind of just like, oh, wait, what? Yeah. What about Lizzie? Don't tell me they recast her. What is going on? No. And then, so I actually found out through fans. I think the biggest thing is like, it would have just been nice to have known. It would have been nice to have been invited to the screening or anything, or even just like, oh my God, like come for a day on set, say hi to everybody. It's a family reunion. I understand, like, obviously why, logically why it made sense. They're really trying to spin this into like for a new series. So it makes sense that they're really trying to introduce the new kids. And ultimately it is like, the show is called Life with Derek. It's, we were the younger kids who obviously, yes, with the younger, the middle children or the younger kids who were watching, maybe they related with Lizzie and Edwin or even Marty a little bit more. But, ultimately the show was primarily based around Derek and Casey specifically. So it made sense from, a business standpoint as to why. I think it's fun that Danny and I got to do a little TikTok together. And
oh yeah, I'm gonna talk about that. Also, for one, you're too nice because I still don't think it's fair. I watched that movie just to figure out why you guys weren't in it, and they never even gave an answer. So no, that's BS. I hated it.
No, honestly, I have yet to watch it, so I do apologize. Okay. I haven't even watched it yet. My bad.
I'm sure you knew that they'd never. I'm sure Danny had told you that they never even mentioned you three.
No, I
Because he
didn't
streamed
know
it.
that.
He streamed him watching it.
Oh, that's freaking awesome. See,
Yeah.
so I actually released my 2 first music videos the same day because so I saw it once again. I'm a very like, as I've grown older, I am a little bit more business orientated now, mindset wise, and still a degenerate through and through, but and so no, honestly, I saw it as, oh, well, if they're releasing a new movie, this is a great opportunity and, potentially the best time to release my music. Because obviously if people are like, wait a minute, they watch the movie and they're like, wait, the other kids. And then they, want
Where's Jordy? And then you search her up and boom.
Exactly. Yeah. So, and plus, I thought it was kind of, yes, for publicity, the whole drama behind it is what does well. I'll be honest. So, of course, making TikToks about it and saying, if you want to know what Lizzie's up to and like all of that. And, obviously trying to capitalize off of it as much as I can. And so no hard feelings in the sense of, I get it.
The show was created by Daphne Ballin, so she was the showrunner, and I was brought in early on before I wrote like one of the first development scripts. So it was me and Daphne working together with a company called Shaftesbury, and a producer named Suzanne French. And so they were great producers and very generous and like brought me into the process really early on. And so, as a development writer, you're not part of the casting unless you're producing. I wasn't producing at the time. It's just this young, arrogant writer who thought he knew everything because I had met Beyonce. So I thought I knew everything. So they showed me some of the tapes and the people they were considering. And they show me a list of names, and I'm like, okay. They always like this. I'm like, oh yeah, no. Kate Todd, I'd worked on my friend Brent Piaskowski, who ran Radio Free Roscoe. I'm like, oh no, she's amazing. That show's fantastic. That's like, you got to get her. Ashley Leggat, I'm like, oh, I worked with her on Ace Lightning. I mean, I don't know, but she's pretty good. She'd be great. I think she'd be good. And then, but Michael Cedar for no, this character's got to be cool. And Michael is. This is a nerdy kid, and he's got his glasses. He's just like, but you have Noah Reed. The guy it's so obvious. He is Derek. And I was writing the development scripts. I had Noah Reed in my head like the whole time. And I'm like, they're like, no, we're going with Michael. And I'm like, all right, don't listen to me. And I remember telling people, I'm like, the show's going nowhere. They don't know what they're doing. They're not listening to me. So I had and again, Michael, he was probably 14, 15 at the time. He changed and he was an actor. And I didn't quite realize that you could transform your look. And he grew his hair and he put on a leather jacket. And thank God nobody listened to me because, I mean, I could have written those scripts till I was blue in the face without Michael Cedar, without Ashley Leggat. And then you had Jordan Todosey, Ariel Waller, Daniel, all these all these actors around them. And then, of course, even the grown-ups, Joy Tanner and George, what the hell's his name? Who's going to kill me? Thank you, John Ralston, the wonderful John Ralston. Sorry, John, I'm old. But but Michael and Ashley, I mean, they're the reason why the show lasted. The writing didn't get in the way.